It's Elite POV, coming live to your area on twitch.tv.
Let's fucking go!
We are your number one place for everything in the world of all elite wrestling. And just remember, when you're with us, you'll always be elite.
Yo, it's clear to see when you open up your feed that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. We bring the heat to your screen every week, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. So understand every time that we speak that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Our 3 letters is all you'll ever need, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV.
I swear to God, I thought you were doing the Ghostbusters. I swear to God.
What's up, everybody?
It.
And welcome to Elite POV, where it's podcast time, and you know what that means. I'm one of your hosts, Phil Cataldo, but you can call me Philium, alongside the man who's giggling, Kyle Masters. What is up?
I swear to God, I thought you were doing the Ghostbusters. I thought you were going, and I'm like, why is this man starting the show saying Ghostbusters? Fuck.
Crazier things have happened.
I'm all right, though. It's I can't even get it together. Was not expecting that. Phil, just to clarify, everyone that's listening or watching live.
It came off the top of my head, so I did it.
Did not expect. I didn't even know you were starting the show that way.
Nope.
But you gonna start the show? Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of an episode. We got that, well, especially for one person. You're finally getting an episode where me and Phil talk less than Jacky. So
yes,
wow,
absolutely.
Well, I
yes,
can admit
Floyd, that is me rapping on the song. That is me rapping on the song. I did
Sure
the
is.
rap things. I was a rapper
Written
back
bars,
in my days.
better
You
than
know what I
Max
mean?
Caster.
And that other voice you hear, the person everybody really wants to talk to, right? We know her as the draw, but also 6-star Jacky Rodriguez, what is up?
You're is on top of the freaking world right now for obvious reasons. No, I will not, Kyle. I will not come down because we got a dream match situation last night and your girl is happy.
Okay.
And I can't wait to celebrate. It's okay for you, but it was damn good for me. All right, that's all I'm going to say. I'm still dancing to the song in my head, by the way. Not the Ghostbusters.
Well, speaking of that, everyone stick around for this podcast because at the end of the show, you're going to get to watch an exclusive video that was taken of Jacky's entire reaction to that match. I have to play right after the podcast is done today, so stick around and watch. It's going to be awesome.
Yes, because AEW and YouTube hate us. Yeah. We don't understand how there are people whose entire content library is just reacting to things, right? That's all they do. And they don't get any of their videos copyright claimed. Well, we didn't get copyright claimed. We got blocked. We couldn't the video couldn't be shared, right? So we tried. I tried YouTube, Vimeo, whatever. I tried a bunch of things. None of it worked.
What was it called? Like it's on Patreon. It's like Vimeo. I'm like,
Vimeo.
I've never
it's like
heard
the
of
other
thing.
YouTube. It's the other version of YouTube.
It's the other YouTube.
But you have to pay for it. You have to pay to share. Like you can upload it. It's uploaded on there on our account that I made, but you have to pay to share it. It's annoying. Yeah, so Daily Motion, none of it works.
Daily Motion, oof.
Throwback, right?
Is that even?
But yeah, so that is at the end of the show. And if it's your first time listening, welcome. We do the show every Thursday for you guys on twitch.tv/Elite POV with replays available on youtube.com/Elite POV or anywhere you guys find your podcast. If you want to support us, head on over to patreon.com/Elite POV. We're going to start ramping that up soon, so make sure you stay tuned to that, especially with Nerdy Elite, because me and Kyle got a bunch of stuff coming for that. Also, Nerdy Elite on YouTube. Type Nerdy Elite on YouTube. You see our reaction video to the Thor trailer. We're going to be making another reaction video coming up soon because they are releasing more footage for the Obi-Wan show. So that will be really, really cool. And then finally, ElitePOVmerch.com. www.hangman.com. Go pick up some of our great logos that we have up there. And we have a gay pride / trans pride shirt coming up in the month of May. It will go from May 1st to July 1st. All proceeds are going to Nate's surgery. So make sure you get some of that merch when it comes out, please and thank you.
Yes,
but before we get into the show,
Sunday. So
before we get into the show, a little bit of sad news. So Hangman Adam Page has COVID, so he's out. That's why he wasn't there on Wednesday. We're hearing if you guys saw on Twitter, Meltzer was reporting. I think Fightful was also reporting that there was a lot of rewrites to last night's show and to Rampage because it was supposed to feature Hangman a little more, right, than not at all. But he's out with COVID, which he'll be out for 2 weeks, but he should be back all good to go for the pay-per-view at Double or Nothing because, of course, you guys watched last night. Hangman versus Punk got announced for Double or Nothing, so we're all very excited about that.
My prediction was right.
But there is no other way to start this show than to talk about Dax Harwood versus Cash Wheeler in the qualifying match for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. And I'm done talking. Jacky, please explain to the people how that match made you feel.
Deep breaths here. I just want to preface this by saying the way that the climate is in wrestling, the internet wrestling community, the internet wrestling croutons. No, I think people have become very enamored with this idea of being analysts and being insiders. And yeah, to a certain extent, we do a podcast, so we do have to analyze things to death. But at the end of the day, it is so much more important to me to be a fan. So if anybody wants to sit back and say, oh my God, she's such a freaking mark this and mark that, You know what? You're damn right I am. Because to me, the moments that emotionally resonate with you are the ones that you never, ever forget. And last night for me was one of those moments. It was a match that I did not know that I needed. But as soon as I got it, I was like, inject this all the way into my veins. It was so damn good. So obviously you're going to, if you stick around, you will see my full reaction video to the match. But I'll throw my little side notes in here. They came to the ring together. That was already like number one moment where I was like, oh shit, we're getting this kicked off in a very different way. I was expecting to hear the song twice, to jam out to the song twice. You will see me awkwardly dancing my body around to that song, so get ready for that. Excalibur drops a little note that they have officially tagged for just shy of 600 matches together.
Wow.
And aside from their original WWE tryout match, this was the first time that they were ever competitors in the ring. So if you need an indicator of how monumental of a moment this was, boom, there you go. The Bret Hart, Owen Hart trunks. I love the attention to detail. Every time that they're going to do, a match, they'll work some kind of tribute into it. And the pink and black with the skull, chef's kiss. Just like from moment one, they go into it where you're like under the psychology of like, okay, we're going to try to outsmart each other. How do you outwork somebody that you know better than yourself? Somebody who's been by your side for, like they said, just shy of 600 matches. You're going to try to figure out a way to outsmart each other. But as the match progressed, you could see the increase of intensity. There were a lot of turnbuckle spots that freaking gave me heart attacks because they're not typically the type to go top rope aside from the superplex or things like that. Just overall, the level of emotional investment, all of the callbacks to Owen Hart matches, Bret Hart matches. Somebody did a really great side-by-side video comparison on Twitter. I'll have to find it. I'll try to retweet it. I think Kyle retweeted it actually.
I did.
But
I'll find it.
And I tagged you.
Yes, you did. And I did say, it was extremely just beautiful. Just all the nods to these past iconic matches. And it was such a toss-up for me because I was being asked left and right who I thought was going to win this match, who I wanted to win this match. And I firmly insisted and stuck with it to the last moment where I wasn't going to pick because I love both guys so much. And I think that they are all heart pun fully intended in this case. Just the way that they go out there and they make every single moment mean something. And that to me speaks volumes to their talent, to their skill, to their character, and why this match went over so much with the audience that was there live, all the people that were tweeting about it on social media. It's being regarded as a potential match of the year candidate, and rightfully so. But at the end of the day, you have two competitors and somebody's got to win. And Dax Harwood picked up the win. And, you know, I'm just so proud of both guys, and to see the emotion at the end of the match, the embrace, the subtle like kiss on the forehead to say, like, you know what, we freaking did that. And you could tell how much it meant to them, and in turn it meant so much to us as fans. So bravo, what a freaking way to kick off AEW Dynamite. And I'm gonna say it right now, if Dax doesn't make it to the finals, we riot, or I'm gonna riot. But overall, just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, you might be rioting then. But so that Twitter, the Twitter who posted that video that Jacky's talking about, it's at Wrestling News CO. They made a cool compilation of all the different matches that it was like Bret Hart versus Razor Ramon, Bret versus Owen at WrestleMania 10. And it's a bunch of matches that they reference in this, which I thought was incredible.
There's definitely a lot of callbacks in this one.
Yeah, which was cool. We knew there was going to be callbacks. To kind of piggyback off what Jacky said, I knew that they should come out together, because I thought it would be a cool touch, because of course they keep saying in everything, even in the road to, this isn't the end of FTR. This is just a dream match they wanted to have. So having them come out separate wouldn't make sense, because the whole thing is that they're still FTR. So I love that even though they were having a match against each other, they came out together, which was incredible. And I thought the right person won. I see people in the chat, some people are upset, but if you guys kind of open up your mind and start to bring in other content other than just what's on TV, if you listen to podcast interviews, if you watch the Road 2s, if you follow them on social media,
our podcast interview.
Yeah. So you understand that Cash on Renee's podcast that was on Tuesday, Cash talked about how he doesn't want to be a singles wrestler, right? That he hasn't had a singles match in over 2 years, and he doesn't ever want to have a singles match. Like he wants to be in a tag team. This is his dream. This is what he wants to do, and he wants to team with Dax. As soon as he said that, I was like, there is no way Cash is winning this match. It is going to be a love letter for both of them, but ultimately he's going to put over Dax. And another thing, Cash in that same interview was like, I think Dax is the best wrestler in the world. I think Dax is the best wrestler in the industry, and he's saying all this stuff. So you can kind of tell that's the direction they were going in. But as far as the match, incredible, right? Yeah. I loved how they started out very much like, we're friends wrestling, and then it started to get a little serious. We saw Dax hit Cash, and Cash kind of fell back and was like, whoa, and Dax like, no, I'm sorry. And then it picked
the
up.
Bret Hart and Owen callback right there.
Exactly, and it was a real story. Right? Yeah, but not even just a kick on the ground. I'm talking about like when he hit him in the corner by accident.
Oh, okay.
And Cash like fell back, and Bryce Remsburg was like, are you okay? And Cash was looking at Dax like, whoa. We're doing that? And it was like, okay, here we go, boys. Like the match is finally going to break into gear. It was just incredible. I love the moment at the end where they do, Dax gets the pin and Cash immediately goes over to him, and Dax has his hand over his eyes because he was probably crying. And it was just this incredible moment. And then the other shout out that I feel like people aren't going to forget this, to mention this, CM Punk did exceptional in commentary. He did a great job putting both guys over, putting over Owen Hart, putting over the everything that this meant to both competitors, himself, and just wrestling fans in general. I thought CM Punk was the perfect call to be involved in that match, and it was great. But Kyle, what do you think about everything?
I think the biggest thing with CM Punk being on commentary was that not only was he good at putting both over and even, still sticking to his character where, you saw him mentioning like, well, these guys are part of a group that I don't like with MJF, but putting that aside, I still think they're both great wrestlers, and this is great. Like the callback, like he was wearing the Bret Hart hoodie, but the best thing, the biggest thing I took away from him being on commentary was that you can tell he was watching the match rather than sitting there talking the whole damn time. There were times where like he barely spoke, and that's because you can tell he was fixated on this match and watching this match and enjoying pure pro wrestling. So like I sent out the tweet. They got a shit ton of likes, and it's been blowing up my Twitter today. The AEW and pro wrestling handshake. And it's true. Like this company, it's the number one thing. This company, they focus less on the entertainment and more on the pro wrestling. And you get a match like this to open up Dynamite with Punk on commentary, and then it was perfect. It was perfect, and I love the whole segue they did too. Like they didn't just end on Dax and Cash. Like they segued it into like another segment. It was perfect the way they did it. But again, that goes back to what Phil mentioned in the beginning of the show, why they had to, because of COVID, unfortunately, striking down on the world champion. So hopefully he does get better soon. And that kind of sucks because he just had a kid, right? So like, let's hope that it's, and he can't be near his kid, which kind of sucks too, right? He's got to stay away from his kid, and he just had it. So like, it is a shame, but let's hope he recovers soon. And it's booked for
soon.
It's booked for Double or Nothing in what's it, about like almost a month now. CM Punk versus Hangman Page in the main event. So Jacky, you nailed it in our predictions.
Let's go.
Still holding out. No, it's probably not.
Yeah. So Adam always with the fire in the chat saying, I think Nyla tweeted about the match being a locker room sellout. Yeah, she did. She said there wasn't an empty monitor because listen, if you're most wrestlers that are in wrestling, right, it's because they love wrestling. So you have a match that like Dax and Cash was a love letter to pro wrestling, right? That's all it was. And especially for people like, you know, I know Ant's not on the show this week, but you know, when he does come back, I would love to get his thoughts on air about it because Ant's the biggest Owen Hart fan I know. And Owen Hart's legacy has been kind of shoved to the side because of WWE's relationship with Martha Hart, right? And it sucks that we've never gotten to like kind of show Owen the love that he deserves. So it's cool that with this tournament and with a match like this, we are getting to actually say it out loud, right? And say his name and show footage and do all this stuff. So I think that's really awesome. And it's definitely one of those matches that I think a lot of us, I know Jacky has probably watched it like 10 times already, but it's going to be one of those matches that when we look back and when, you know, eventually AEW gets their own network or streaming service, it's going to be one of those matches that we watch over and over again.
Yeah.
Listen and send it in the chat. Don't work yourself in the shoot, bro. Ant's the biggest Owen Hart fan. All right, let's take a deep breath there.
Yeah, he will summon himself out of nowhere and get in the chat just to yell at you.
But hey, I respect the sending being an Owen fan heart too, HH. Go with me, brother. But
so Fret's in the chat saying he has a question about the Owen. First off, I love the notion of it. What is the end goal? The end goal is to honor Owen Hart. That at the end of this tournament, they're both getting trophies. It not only honors Owen Hart, but it brings awareness to the Owen Hart Foundation. Yeah, and it brings that side of the Hart family back into pro wrestling.
Yeah,
right. And I think that's the most important thing of this. I'm pretty sure whoever wins the tournaments will get title shots or something. There'll be something that comes from it. I personally hope they just get a dope ass trophy, right? and then that leads to a title shot. Whether they win or not, that's whatever. That's booking, right? But I just think that it's important that with AEW's position in wrestling, they use their name to shed a light on these older performers who aren't around anymore, because WWE does not do that. It is very much on to the next. We don't care about you unless it's WrestleMania season and we need a veteran to take a spot from a young talent. It's the only time they care about older talent. Where with the tournament like this, I think it's important that we honor our legends. And AEW does a great job, not just honoring like The Rock or Stone Cold, but like actual legends who people don't talk about anymore. And Owen Hart's one of them. But
and it's the tournament's sponsored by the Owen Foundation. They make mention of it a lot, and they always mention what the foundation's about. So there, if you're looking for a reason, it's right there. It's staring at you in the face. And obviously, the biggest thing is to honor a guy who was a big piece of professional wrestling and from a family that is huge in professional family. Like this is an Owen Hart tournament, but the Hart name is behind this tournament, and it's not. You see, like they're paying homage to both like Owen and Bret with little things. I know it's like a tournament dedicated to Owen only, but you see the homages to Bret Hart a lot as well. So the Hart family name means a shit ton in wrestling. So it's one of the reasons why they're doing it as well. But yeah, that's it for the reasoning, I guess, if you're looking for
it's just cool because a lot of us are around the same age, right? But it's like I grew up with the Hart family being so heavy in wrestling. And it's so weird that the only like real active Hart wrestler that is on a main show is Natty, right? Because you have what the hell is his name? What's Bulldog's son name? I know he's like Davey Boy Smith Jr. Harry Smith. Yeah, you have Harry Smith, but like he's not signed. He was with MLW and then he was released by WWE. And like Teddy Hart is a head case, and so it's like you don't really have the Harts in wrestling anymore, right? So it's just Natty. So it's kind of cool that they're maybe one of the Hart kids want to get into wrestling, right? Maybe Owen's son. I know he's done podcasts before where he hates wrestling because of everything that happened. So maybe this will make him fall in love with wrestling. Who knows, right? Who knows? Yeah, TJ Wilson is not a Hart. He grew up around them. He married into the family, but he's not a Hart. Even though he's a fantastic wrestler, and I wish he didn't get hurt, but
he's not a Hart.
Right.
But so another match that I want to talk about before we get into the craziness of everything that happened last night. So we have Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb in a Philly street fight. I thought this match was great. I thought this match should have main evented. Now, to anybody in the chat or any one of us on the show, maybe Jacky, because I know me and Kyle didn't see it when it happened. Where the hell did Serena get that black eye from? What?
I think I saw it.
What was it? Because randomly we looked up and Kyle was like, dude, what happened to her eye?
Yeah, there was a point where the steel chair kind of like ricocheted off of her face. So it like bounced back towards her cheek and you could see her like immediately go and grab her face.
Listen, you think with something ricocheting on her, she'd be on the main event.
Wow. I knew as soon as I used the word ricochet that I was going to get that kind of pun. Oh my God.
He ain't wrong. But did you see her tweet?
Yeah.
That was the best. I only need one eye.
I only need one eye.
But Jacky, talk about the match. Like, how just incredible was it to see them finally get an end to this great storyline that has been going on for months?
But is it the end? You never say never in wrestling. I think what's really cool is that I was there for the inception of this feud because this all kicked off in the Philly show last year. And getting to see Serena Deeb stealing Shida's 50th win, knocking her around with the trophy. And that was the catalyst to all of this. And in my personal opinion, it's been one of the greatest feuds for women's wrestling in AEW. I think this whole feud has been proof that if you really put the attention to detail and let people just go out there and do what they're good at, you're going to hit a home run. And I wish more storylines like this existed for the women's division. And I'm hoping that this opens a door because you have two women that absolutely do not give a shit about trying to look cute out there. That's like, no, they're going for the nitty gritty. They're destroying each other. And it's a great thing to be able to witness people being able to just unleash that chaotic energy in a Philly street fight of all things. They went in and I loved every second of this feud. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I don't know how many of the people that they've already announced and all the spots have been filled, but if Serena Deeb is not in the female side of this Owen Hart tournament, what the hell?
She's gonna fight Thunder Rosa at Double or Nothing.
You know what? Okay, that's a fair trade.
Yeah, Thunder Rosa was watching the match, and you not see that?
Yes, I did. I did see
then that's your clear indication of where this is going.
But she could be in it and just not go all the way.
No, the finals are at Double or Nothing. No, it's not happening.
She could listen. All right, a girl could.
I wouldn't put her in it because she would have to lose then.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. You're going to lose before your title shot.
Fine, but I'm just saying when the tournament was first announced, she was our shoo-in for being like, she definitely fits the role.
If she didn't go for the world title.
Yeah. If she didn't. All right. Okay. So, since it is seemingly veering off in that direction, I'm not mad at that situation either in terms of seeing a Serena Deeb versus Thunder Rosa match at Double or Nothing.
We've seen with the world title, they just kind of give number one contenders matches like that. So,
yeah.
But a week later.
Yeah. We've seen how rushed it could be sometimes. But my thing is when you have a champion like Thunder Rosa, right? And Britt Baker was an exceptional champion. She was the best champion they've had, right? But I feel like Thunder Rosa's style is different, right? Britt Baker is more the entertainment side of wrestling, right? And I think that Carrie's texting me, Serena Deeb is on an 8-match winning streak. Another reason why you got to start watching Dark and Elevation and really start to pay attention to what's happening, because she hasn't lost in a long time. But it's Thunder Rosa is going to be more hard-hitting matches. Britt was like to put on a show, right? Thunder Rosa's different. I want her to have different opponents, different type of opponents. I know she started with Nyla and people weren't happy about it, but they still had a really good match. And I think that Thunder Rosa and Serena is going to be a banger, because like you have two absolute veterans. Because like even though Thunder Rosa is new to a TV audience, Thunder Rosa has been doing this a long time, right? And she's had some great matches as the NWA Women's Champion before she got here, and even when she was here, I'm pretty sure she fought Serena here. Yeah, Serena beat her for the title.
Yes.
There's a whole fucking feud. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's a whole entire feud here that they're gonna fucking dive into, and they're gonna have this incredible thing, because it plays into what happened with the NWA Women's title, and AEW, is gonna talk about that. Like it history exists within AEW, so this match is gonna be a banger. And then as far as the women's side of the Owen tournament, it's going to be great. We're probably going to get Britt and either Jamie Hayter or Britt and Toni Storm in the finals, or Britt and Ruby Soho. Like, we're going to be good. That match is going to be awesome. And I'm excited to see what's coming up. But Kyle, what'd you think of the street fight?
It was great. No, that's not it. But Shida and Deeb is a feud that you can go back to any time people wouldn't have a problem with, because it's almost like Moxley and Kenny. That's for sure going to happen again at some point, and people are not going to be angry at that. They're always going to go back and say, look at the history of this feud. They're going to feud again. It's going to be like that between these two women until one of them retires. So I thought it was a really good street fight. I love the whole with Thunder Rosa watching and nodding her head. Okay, so this is where we're going. Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa, let the build begin. Like just Phil mentioned, there's history already in place. This is going to be a really highly anticipated match. Will not be Thunder Rosa losing so early, though, because you need... Technically, this is kind of kicking off her world title career in a way. It's like the first big match. And it's at Double or Nothing. And it's it is a massive match for her to have her first big title defense. So, they got to make this title mean something. You don't want to get into, unfortunately said, Jurassic Express territory, where you're just holding the title for the sake of holding a title, and like no one kind of like, what I mean? If you look at Jurassic Express, like I don't see them as their tag team champions, regardless of them holding the belt. They're way better tag teams that should be the champs right now. AK the people in their freaking thumbnail today, the FTR should be the champs right now, because they're the hottest tag team right now, and they're the best tag team going. Why are they not fighting for the belts? Like I'm
thinking at Double or Nothing, man.
That would have to really quick. You'd have to like make Dax loses in the first round, then you only have a 2-week build.
So what? Whatever it takes to get the titles on them.
Yeah,
I don't care
they've been number one contenders for a while. I mean, that's enough of a reason. But Kyle, can I just say that your tweet yesterday about the white powder popped me so freaking hard. About 10 leaving his stash under the ring.
Yo, my man 10 liked the tweet, so he had a good laugh too.
Yes. It popped me.
If no one knows, I when there was the spot in the match where like Shida got blinded by that white sand or whatever the hell it was, flour, I don't know. I tweeted out, I was like, damn it, 10, leaving your stash underneath the ring again. And he had to like the tweet, so I'm sure he had a good laugh with that. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm loving the idea of a Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa match, because their match for the NWA title was really good. So I can only imagine that this match at Double or Nothing is going to be even better. So, and Serena Deeb's a hell of a wrestler. Same with Thunder Rosa. So let's go. Let's fucking go.
It's going to be fucking awesome. And I can't wait to see everything that comes up next. So the next segment I want to talk about is Sami Guevara versus Scorpio Sky. This was the main event. I know a lot of people online are upset about the flip-flopping of the TNT title. And I have two things to say. One.
Who cares?
Yeah, but one, I think, so I saw a lot of people tweeting that this was probably Tony Khan's way of taking like the Cody records out, because Cody was a 3-time champ. Sami's a 3-time champ now. And Cody had the shortest title reign. Now Sami has the shortest title reign. And yes, it is very petty, but you can see, like, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying
it's definitely not the reason why.
We're putting some logic behind it. That's one. Two, it was a good match. And Scorpio Sky winning. And then you saw the stuff that happened afterwards with Kazarian coming out and them being face-to-face, and Lambert and Ethan Page's reaction in the background. Ethan Page even tweeted that clip with him and Dan Lambert kind of looking confused. We saw the great interaction between Page and Ty Conti, which, me and Kyle have some things to say about as far as Paige Van Zandt's work punches. I'm going to definitely go to you first, that Kyle. But the match was fun, and it was good. And, if this means potentially we get a Scorpio Sky versus Kazarian at one of the LA shows, one of the California shows, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be great. Have patience, right? And understand that in AEW, a lot of the titles, pretty much to this point, all the titles except the TNT title have longer reigns. The TNT title has always had short reigns. Like, is it a week? No, but it is still, that's the belt that switches a lot. And I'm sure once they end the Jade story and she finally loses, I'm sure the TBS title will be just like that, because it's a TV title. You're defending it more, so you're going to lose more. It's just the way it is. But Kyle, kind of talk about what you think about the match, and really start off with the Paige Van Zandt stuff you were telling me yesterday.
I'll wait for that. I do want to just say, like, to all the people who are on the on the fence or are saying that they flopped the belts too much. It's not, you can't compare it to that other company that flops the belts all the time, because I'm in agreement that with flipping a belt, if the story makes sense. The story here makes sense. If you look at it from afar, what is the reason why they took the belt off Sami Guevara right now? He is representing the TNT brand, right? But he's getting like nuclear like heat that they weren't expecting. Like he wasn't going into this match. If they had this match booked like 4 or 5 weeks ago, even almost over a month ago, you're telling me that Tony Khan had written down that Sami Guevara would have been the heel going into this match?
True. Good point.
No, he did not. So there's a reason why they flipped it, right? They're gonna flip this. I guarantee you that Sami and Ty are sort of, I can't say they're sort of done, because they're still gonna do the stuff with Paige. But I think it's a way to kind of cool off the whole Sami Guevara and Ty thing, and kind of let that kind of cool away, and then bring them back somehow. It's going to take a lot of molding, because they kind of booked themselves into being hated. Like, now they're trying to go for like this modern day Edge and Lita, which not really a fan of. This kind of killed all of Ty's momentum up until this point. Like, me and Phil are on the same page with that, because like Ty up until this point with the stuff with Sami was like, she's having these like big pay-per-view matches, like meaningful matches with and she was gaining a lot of momentum and winning a lot of matches. Now she's just like, she's become Sami's valet. So like,
listen, there's nothing wrong with that, right? I was mentioning it to Kyle last night. Like, you can do the valet thing, but it has to be balanced. You think about, Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. Kip was just as much Penelope's valet as she was his, and it was a nice balance. Actually, before Kip got hurt, it seemed like he was more her valet, and because she was getting more matches, which is like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm saying.
Like, Ty hasn't fought in a long time. Like, this is, if this is a way to get rid of that, because like getting the title off Sami and put on Scorpio so that they can eventually move away from this and have Ty go back doing what she was doing, I'm fine with the belt flip-flopping there. And the belt means a lot more on Scorpio Sky than it does on Sami right now, because when they first flipped that belt, Sami didn't have this same heat that he does now. So it was just a way to take the belt off. But I'm happy they're going to go in a different direction now. I love the whole tease of, like you said, Frankie Kazarian, the California show. They're going to do a big build for that. And that's going to be in a big arena. Like, that arena is 13,000 sold out already. So even if they do it on the Friday, I'm pretty sure it's still in California. It's at pretty sure it's somewhere else. I don't know. That week there's 2 shows and 2 live shows. But anyways, Paige Van Zandt. Got to work on some punches there, my girl. Those shoot punches were
They're rough.
Oh, they're rough. If anyone remembers early AEW days, that one instant with the Dark Order and that.
They weren't that rough.
Okay,
that was really bad.
That was worse. Okay, there was like once or twice where Paige was like smiling when she was punching, and I'm like, oh no, the camera caught her at the wrong angle.
No, dude, it's not the smile. It's the fact that you can clearly tell she's not putting power. Like she's just like you know.
She hasn't gotten.
I understand.
She hasn't gotten that connect properly yet. Like a professional wrestler has been doing it for years.
Yeah,
which I know.
But my thing
is
like, I'm not saying I'm nowhere near the toughest person in the world, and I would never want a pro fighter to punch me. But if you're Ty Conti and you're a competitor, especially someone who was an Olympian judo athlete and who has trained MMA, who has trained in kickboxing and all this stuff, who's used to contact, like I'm telling Paige right after that, no, you need to hit me for real. Like you maybe don't hit me at 100%, but hit me. Make sure those punches land, because like it's not like you're punching her in the face. You're punching her in the arms and in the side. Like she'll be fine, right? They're all in incredible shape. Like let's make this real as possible and let's get people involved. I'm super excited for this, right? I know it seems like we're going to go to this mixed tag match coming up. That's probably what's going to be a Double or Nothing. That's probably their way of kind of extending the Scorpio Kazarian thing as far as possible to make it to those California shows. But I'm excited nonetheless.
I think it's going to be Ethan Page and
Paige Van Sant.
Yeah.
Ethan Page and Paige Van Sant versus Brian Cage and Hangman Page
and Christian Cage in a cage.
In a cage.
Jesus. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
But Jacky, what do you think before we move on?
Sorry, Jacky.
Okay, that's all right. I don't have.
And we're moving on here.
And we're going to picture in picture.
No, I won't do that to you.
No, this was a match that like I felt kind of like meh going into it. Like I didn't really have any skin in the game for it. They ended up really impressing. There was a lot of like crazy spots in there that you're like, take your breath away. There was one flip that Sami took off the ladder that I'm like, oh my God, he's going to die. Like it just looked like he landed so badly, but that's kind of like Sami's gig at this point, is just doing reckless shit. I agree with everything you guys said. Please, like, I don't mind Ty Conti going out there with Sami. You guys are in a relationship, fine. You want to play it up. But she is too good of a talent to just be eye candy, to just be there at ringside cheering her man on. Yep. I want her to get back in the ring and show us why she is the talent that she is. And that's kind of like my gripe with it. The flip-flopping part of the belt, yeah, I felt a certain type of way about it. I'm willing to see the reasoning behind it. I don't mind shorter title reigns, but like a week at a time, it was kind of like, well, what was the point of doing the switch? Like it just felt weird and disjointed to me. But overall, I think that, for a main event spot in a ladder match, they were very entertaining. And that's all that you can ask for. So we'll see where the feud takes us from here.
Yes. And Fretz, I saw you earlier saying that they're overexposing the ladder matches. They're not. They don't do it as often as it seems. I understand that, if you're coming in and out and you're watching here and you're watching there, you can see that it's not overexposed as much as you think it is. Plus, it's a ladder match. Who gives a fuck? Have fun. Have a good time. But another thing that I want to talk about is, finally, we're going to clap it up here. We're going to clap it up here.
I don't know why I'm clapping yet, but I'm clapping.
Oh, you'll know in a second.
Wait, are we clapping for a t-shirt?
It's just like,
finally.
Hang on,
yes.
It's just like the episode of The Office where Michael decided to do his like male appreciation thing. He's like, how about we just all start by clapping right now? And he's like right outside the conference room where the girls are doing it.
Is it? I don't know. I'm not.
If anyone that watched The Office knows what I'm talking about, they'll let us know in the chat.
I don't know, but Mama POV's throwing them clapping emojis in the chat. So let's
clap it up because finally, Undisputed Elite merch is live on Pro Wrestling TV /shop AEW. I'm pretty sure Kyle was so early to buying this shirt. It wasn't even on the website. Kyle was like, it's only on Pro Wrestling Tees.
I called him up like, send it fast. Just send it. Here's my credit card.
Just send it to me. Yeah, give me. I want the hat. I want the bumper sticker. I want the towel. Give me it all. And then we get this great tag match.
Ali, if I had it in Amazon shipping, I'd be wearing it right now. But that doesn't work in Pro Wrestling Tees.
But the one shout out I want to give before this match is to Ant, because we're watching it with him last night, and and me and Ant started this like Brock Anderson is so old segment, or looks so old that he such and such. It was when Ant comes back, we got to do it on the show, because Ant had me crack it up the whole match. Ant was just like, yeah, but look at how is Brock Anderson the same age as, like, I don't know, Dante Martin and Lee Johnson, and he looks like he's 75 years old. So we were laughing hysterically. But Kyle, I'm going to you first. You get the shirt, you get the match, you get the after match picture that is on social media that you see all of them doing, and you get the promo segment in regards to the new name. What do you think of everything?
Oh, I'm so glad they went with Undisputed Elite. So rest in peace to Paragon. Fuck out of here with Paragon. Shit's not happening. It's never gonna happen. They can let that copyright fade out. WWE can have Paragon and name like a wrestler Paragon. And they'll probably go after the 24/7 belt. There you go. You can have it. Anyways, the logo, beautifully done. Very impressed with it. You get both sides vibes. You get like the Elite vibes. You get the Undisputed Era vibes. Oh, I'm so in love with it. I'm so they gotta get more though. They gotta get hats. I gotta buy a hat. They gotta get armbands. You gotta get an armband. You know the armbands are coming. They gotta do the armbands. The armbands gotta be a thing. It's gonna go up there in my collection. You can see it up there right now. That's the hat. That's the armband, and that's the figs in the back. So it's gotta happen. I love it. Anyways,
I was on Ringside Collectibles yesterday or last night before I went to bed. And they were like, new figures coming, available for pre-order. And it was like Adam Cole. I was like, damn, bro, WWE. They weren't going to push him on the main roster, bro. Those sure as fuck still sell his merch. God. Jesus Christ, bro.
Anyways.
Trying.
Crazy ass match. It's a big I don't know. I'm on the fence about when they do like these big matches. It's either like really good or there's so much happening that you're trying to keep up, and it's all over the place. This one was all right. I didn't mind this one. Clearly, the story was there, what they needed to do. They're building momentum for Undisputed Elite. I'd just like to know where do we think this is going? Because we saw Jay White mention last week that, you know, this show, this Forbidden Door show is going to be built around Bullet Club and Undisputed Elite, which there's going to be, I assume, it's either going to be multiple matches or there's just going to be, I really hope it's not, there's going to be this big 6-on-6 match at the Forbidden Door, and I don't want it to happen that way. I want it to be like two separate matches. I want it Cole and his boys versus another three, which if Kenny's back in time, maybe Kenny and the Bucks rejoin the Bullet Club, and it's...
No, I think we are in a holding pattern until Kenny comes back.
Yeah.
I think
Agree.
that even if Kenny's not ready, I mean, God forbid he's not ready for that Forbidden Door show, and he comes back later in the year, you know, I mean, hey, we want him to be healthy. We want everything to be good. But I think that this feud is going to push as far as they can until he gets to that. So we may see them, like I see people in the chat, Ali talking about maybe them versus, you know, JAS or them versus Dark Order or any of these bigger factions, just until we get to the inevitable Kenny coming back, and that's gonna blow everything up.
I assume it's gonna be real soon though. He did he put out a video on his Instagram. He's been going to like this this place that, like, you know, those places where you get the stuff injected in you kind of just sit there. I forget what exactly it was, but I guess it was stuff to do with his head. I guess it was something to recover from all the head trauma he's gotten over the years from pro wrestling. So this man, not only did he get the surgery he needed to do, but he's healing up so much in him right now, so that when he comes back, he is 100% Kenny Omega, like fully 100%, no lingering injuries. I want to come back and be the best wrestler in the world, like he's always been touted as, right? So my fantasy ass mind already booked the end of Double or Nothing when I seen the main event announced. It was Hangman winning over CM Punk. Unfortunately, I would have loved Punk to win, but I think Punk's winning his first title in Chicago. I think Chicago. I have a feeling that now Chicago's going to be at All Out. Like All Out's going to be in Chicago still, and we're going to get back to back events, which is fine.
According to Carrie, this is how it's going to go. Adam Cole Kyle and Bobby are going to be, well, Adam Cole's going back to Bullet Club, and then Kyle and Bobby will officially join Bullet Club. This is all a game to destroy Kenny. It's all about jealousy. Adam is jealous of Kenny, which they have been booking.
No, you keep the Undisputed Elite. No.
They're eventually going to, listen, I understand.
No.
I understand, Kyle.
No.
I understand.
Carrie, you're wrong.
I know you want the logo and you want the merch.
You're wrong, Carrie. Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now. You're wrong.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, I'm between Jacky and Carrie, bro. I'm gonna be like this, working or shooting. I'm gonna be like, we're gonna
lean all the way back.
A handicap match in our freaking Airbnb in Chicago.
But I didn't finish my fantasy thought. Let me finish this.
Okay.
Let me finish. I'm gonna let you finish. Let me finish. Okay.
Okay.
So Hangman wins, and then Kenny comes out. Kenny's music hits. Big pop, crowd's popping. He grabs the mic, maybe he has like a mini promo on Hangman, right? Says like I'm back and I want my title back. We have some unfinished business, right? Because that's who Kenny lost the belt to.
Mm-hmm.
And then the lights go out.
Sting.
No, for Ant for sure, but or Kazarian comes out.
Yeah. The Elite Hunter is back.
No, something's gonna
Undisputed Elite Hunter.
Something's gonna play that's gonna explode that building off the roof. The coin drop will finally hit in AEW. Okada comes out.
When is this happening? You think
at the end of Double or Nothing, and then it's gonna it's gonna swerve, like it's gonna halt Kenny's pursuit to the title, and then they're gonna do Okada and Omega to settle that fucking score.
4 or 5? 5.
5.
I think it's 5, right?
I thought it was 5.
I think Okada's won 3, Kenny's won 2, but he won the title in the last one.
Well, one of them was a draw.
Oh,
one of their matches was a draw. So
yeah, so maybe it's 2-2-1.
So they have to settle that score. So I think that's
Adam in the chat. Saddam Singh comes out.
Oh no,
Saddam Singh. Yeah. If this was WWE, yes, that's for sure.
Kenny's like, "Hey man, I'm the best in the world, and I'm coming for you." And then it's like, lights go out. You hear the coin drop. Saddam Singh walks in. You're like, "No, what is happening?"
I'm now the Rainmaker.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not, I don't think it's going to be Okada versus Punk at Forbidden Door. It's going to be Punk versus Kenta at Forbidden Door.
I think so too.
That's what people are pushing for. So
remember, they're not. I think Tony Khan came out and said this. Somebody came out and said this. They're not throwing all the dream matches at you right away. They're going to make you wait a little bit, right? So as great as Okada, I think.
Oh, that's because the New Japan guy, the president, said that they're going to book an event in Japan to help for the New Japan fans, like the same kind of event, but presented by New Japan.
Oh, that's awesome. Listen, I still think that we're getting Okada with the best friends because they're all in chaos together against BCC. And we can transition right over to that. We get BCC versus the Factory. And the one thing that I want to talk about, the one thing
Nick
we have to shed light on.
For sure, 100%.
Oh, yeah, 100%, right? The one thing I want to mention is Wheeler Yuta's hometown welcome because, of course, he is from Philly.
Yeah.
The pop that this guy has gotten. To think, a month ago, we were still like, give this man a contract. We want him to have a contract. He wins the Pure Championship. He has this incredible match with Moxley, this incredible match with Danielson. He has the great moment with Regal slapping him and us thinking he was going to smack him back. And, it's just, oh my God, to see where he is now and to see how great he's been doing and to see the beautiful build that they were also doing on BTE with having Chuck Taylor looking sad, like almost crying and with the sad music and stuff like that because, Wheeler Yuta was like his student. So like he they roomed together. They're real life friends. So it's this beautiful story. And I hope once Orange Cassidy gets cleared to come back, I know there's some pictures from Rampage this week where Orange Cassidy is not in a sling, I believe. So maybe we're closer than expected. I want to see Okada be in the ring with Danielson and Moxley and the whole BCC best friends thing. But Jacky, what do you think of everything and the match? Because the match also happened.
Yes, a whole match happened. It was very random. I don't know why we keep getting these random like QT Marshall related things. It's like I guess
it's
somebody's got to lose. But come on, you could have picked somebody better. That's my one gripe. I hate being that person, but tonight I will be that person.
Wow.
Wow.
We broke you down.
I know, but the BCC has to be one of my favorite things going in AEW right now. Just the tear that they're on. I love seeing Wheeler Yuta. He has to be like top candidate for breakout star of the year because he's been having a phenomenal run. Like you said, he got his hometown heroes welcome. He got to be the one to take the pinfall victory in that match. But as great as Wheeler Yuta is, freaking Bryan Danielson, man, it's like there is not a damn thing that man can do wrong. The minute he gets that hot tag and he's in the ring, it's all about Danielson. Mm-hmm. And I can't speak enough about just the phenomenal competitor that he is. He's so well-rounded. He's not just one thing. He's everything. And I love Danielson. Excuse me, still getting over COVID.
I was listening to your voice fade out there.
Yes, it was going. I was trying.
They're gonna start crying because he's so technical.
He did the whole Cody
because Phil thinks that like I just like combust when there's like technical wrestling.
You do, and this is what I love about Jacky and
here we go.
Listen, this is what I love about Jacky, right? This is what I love about Jacky because she's over here fighting stereotypes every day. You would assume that Jacky was like, oh, I love Roman Reigns. He is so sexy. So I watched that. He is sexy. We could all agree he's sexy.
Oh, yes,
but he's also a great wrestler. But Jacky's like, ooh, did you see that Muda lock? Ooh, did you see that crossface? Ooh, did you see how he hit the sharpshooter? Ooh. Jacky, it's like technical wrestling is like Jacky's thing.
It is. I mean? Like, it is a big thing for me. Always has been, and probably always will be.
Like the stereotype of woman fans is like, it's like I like him because he's hot, right? Jacky's like, I like him because actually that sharpshooter was a throwback to Bret Hart, Owen Hart, WrestleMania 10, where in the 3-minute mark they did the sharpshooter spot and then he kicked out, and then that's also a reference to Stu Hart because Stu Hart invented that in 1972 and it was really cool. Jacky knows more about wrestling than I will ever know.
See, Adam just put the perfect segue into the chat. I'm not even going to read it. But it's like, I'm sure that there are people that think that the whole Dax and Cash match was like my shit because, I have certain feelings about certain people in that match. But no, I'm like, I love this. I love technical wrestling. I love seeing people put on a clinic. And back to this match, Danielson is just that guy. He's always going out there and he's freaking knocking it out the park. Moxley is very much the enforcer, the muscle, get in my way. I'm going to knock your ass out. And yes, like to what Kyle just said, it doesn't matter how long it's been since Moxley appeared in AEW for the first time. That man is still consistently getting some of the biggest pops when he goes out there. And rightfully so, because he is that dude. So despite the fact that they could have picked 3 better opponents, maybe, I'm still really pleased with this run that BCC
despite the fact that Nick Comoroto still looks like an E-Fed character that someone made that they were like, make him as tall as possible and as muscular as possible.
Nick Comoroto,
and put hair on him.
You know who Nick Comoroto is? He's like a crappy version in the community creations of Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Oh
100%.
My God.
Like I think he looks like this. Whatever. Here's a modern version. I don't have the face scan. So, and shout out to Aaron Solo because I love Aaron Solo. I want him to get away from the factory. But yeah, Kyle, what'd you think of all this stuff?
Man, if Jon Moxley's not in your top 3 like wrestlers in the company, then your list is wrong. Plain and simple. Your list is wrong. He is in your top 3 because this man is an absolute star. Everywhere he goes, he gets the same damn reaction, and literally you can see the roof exploding off the building every time he steps out. The crowd goes absolutely nuts for him. This man is a star, and he backs it up with his wrestling in the ring. He is just,
I think he's the biggest baby face in all of wrestling in any company.
He is. He's basically
honestly
hard to argue against that.
Listen, a lot of us have been at these shows and over the last couple of years and heard and felt that Moxley pop. It is something different. When that Wild Thing starts playing, man, everybody gets out their feet. They're singing along. They're having a good time.
Dude, even before that, when I was there for the first Dynamite in Washington, and when no one knew he was going to be, he wasn't scheduled to be there. When he came out, and when Kenny was about to do his Terminator jump, right? And there's that awesome shot of him appearing behind Kenny. I kid you not, my ears were like people jumped out of their seats. They were going absolutely nuts when he was
I can't
there.
even imagine.
It was incredible.
It's great.
And like, oh man, and you were wait, Phil, weren't you at Daly's place for the? Weren't you
Double
there?
or Nothing?
Is that you that were there for Double or Nothing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me, Rob, and Scott were there.
Yeah, when him and Eddie came out. Like,
yeah, dude, it was, and then that's the first show back with a full crowd of fans, and that place, there's no roof on the building, but it blew off, and it was people love. I was gonna say Eddie Kingston, they love him too, but people love Jon Moxley. Like it's he's one of those wrestlers where like seeing him have this second phase of his career, or really third phase of his career, where he took everything that he learned from WWE and being a part of the Shield and being a main event guy, Grand Slam champion there, and he added it to the indie crazy CZW Jon Moxley that was a lunatic, and he made this perfect combination that I think is honestly, if not the biggest star in wrestling right now, he's without a doubt the biggest baby face in wrestling, and he's not corny. It's not forced. He does whatever he wants, and people just happen to love him. And I think that's what's so great about Moxley, and why I pretty much everybody that I know is a Jon Moxley fan. Even like I wasn't the biggest Dean Ambrose fan, especially the last couple of years that he was in WWE. But I fucking love Jon Moxley. He's just so goddamn cool. It's like you want to be him. You want to be around him. Like, I don't even drink. I want to have a beer with the guy. You know, oh, he doesn't drink anymore. That's so bad to say. But like, I want to hang out with the guy, right? Like, it's just one of those things.
You want to have a Red Bull with the guy, or
I want to have a Red Bull.
You want to have a pop with him. As the Canadians would say. I want to have a soda. But yeah, and if you croutons think he's going back to the Fed, y'all
he
wrong.
Ain't going back. He ain't going back until the Shield get inducted into the Hall of Fame, because it's not about money to him. He turned down
He probably won't even go to that. He'll probably just be like, oh yeah, congrats.
Nah, he'll go. He'll go when it's all said and done and he's retired and they're retired. They'll do a big thing.
When he's retired, sure. Okay.
Yeah, as long as he's wrestling, he ain't doing it. But now, a segment that I do want to give spend some time on. So we get the backstage segment with Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Toni Storm, and Ruby Soho. And the reason I want to bring this up is because Jamie Hayter's making me a big fan, Kyle. I'm not gonna lie. She is so comfortable in front of the camera. You could tell she's having a good time, and like you could tell all four women were having a good time. And what I'm referencing is when Ruby was like, "You guys, you're walking around with your hanging out," and she's like doing like the thing, like the crotch thing. And Jamie Hayter, if you guys haven't seen it, Jamie Hayter lifts up Britt Baker's shirt and looks, and Britt Baker breaks and she starts laughing because you could tell that she was like, "What are you doing?" But it's so much fun. Like that, I want to see more of their personalities like that. Like just having a good time. And Jamie Hayter is a heel, but it's like, who cares? They're all having fun. It's all about the Owen Hart Foundation tournament on the women's side. And it makes me excited to see what's coming up. Those four are probably going to have some type of tag team match on Rampage or on Dynamite coming up, which is going to be great. It's going to be a ton of fun, and I can't wait to see it. But Kyle, I'm praising your girl. You praise your girl.
But man, you can see it though. Like Jamie Hayter, I'm going to say right now, I'm going to put the camera on me. Put the camera on me. Damn it, Kyle. Jamie Hayter is a star. And you can tell she's just getting not only better in the ring whenever she has a match, but even with these backstage promos. You look at the four women that are here. You have Britt, who's obviously very comfortable in front of the camera. We've seen that she does like incredible promo work. Ruby and Toni come from a company that's all they did was training in front of a camera, right? That's what they were like trained to do over there, like to do a lot of promo work, and they're very comfortable in front of the camera. Jamie Hayter look light years ahead of all three of them. Like when she cuts a promo, you can tell in her voice how confident she is, and everything just comes across smooth. And she just looks like a star, man. Jamie Hayter is going to be an absolute mega star in this women's division. I cannot wait, and I really hope she wins the tournament, but that's just biased talking, obviously. I would love it for it to be a Britt and Jamie final. The story's there for that. But for sure, leaning towards a Toni and Britt final. I think that's for
any
sure.
Four.
Yeah.
Not four. Any two of these four women in the finals, sign me up. Yeah. The match is going to be a banger. I think Ruby is really starting to hit her stride. You know, Ann has said it in the past on our show that, shout out Ann. She's just in the chat. But Ann has said in the past that he felt like Ruby wasn't connecting and there was something missing and she was a little sloppy, right? And then she's hitting her stride now. She's having great matches on Elevation and Dark with Anna Jay and Sky Blue, or any combination of that. And, she had a great match to open the tournament against Robin Renegade. So, like, I think this is going to be great. And it's going to be a good time. Jackie, what do you think?
I was just going to say, When Britt dropped the catering line, you can tell she was laughing and going away like off camera. You can tell, you hear in her voice that because of what Jamie did, like lifting her shirt, she like broke down.
Yeah, dude, it was so, but it's that's what we need, man. Like these women have such great personalities. You see it on their social media. You see it, like Jamie Hayter was in one of Ethan Page's Toy Hunt vlogs, right? And you see they have this great personality that really shines on camera. And with them not getting as many segments as the men, they don't get to show it as much, especially at the variety that the men do, because so many men get booked on the card, but like the women don't. So it's great to get these little segments, because it's something that is just great. But Jacky, what do you think?
No, I'm never going to argue against more meaningful segments for the women on AEW Dynamite and Rampage, especially when you have 4 women that are as charismatic as all 4 of them are. So in terms of growing storylines and letting people be themselves and letting their actual personality shine through, obviously there's character work. There's going to be your heels and your baby faces. So they do have to play up certain things. But you get a Jamie Hayter, who is a very charismatic individual. And when she is given the chance to talk, you're like, oh shit, like I didn't know that she had those chops. Like I think it was somebody said it in the chat. I didn't catch who. But yeah, I really think that that's going to be a key component.
Adam said it.
Thank you. Thank you, Adam. When you get people invested in the individuals that are behind the characters, it really gets them more invested in the storylines, which gets them more invested in the matches, and gives us room to continue to grow this division into what it has the potential to be, because the potential is there. It just needs the time and the effort.
Yep, 100%. Absolutely, 100%. Another promo segment that got a lot of people talking last night. We get the segment where, I'm just going to go in order of what things happen, because I don't even know what to really call a segment. But we get the House of Black segment that starts off with Fuego on the stage, dead, laying there, lights out. Malachi comes out and says this great thing, and he's like, I told you to watch out with the shadows. They come out, and then we get the return of Death Triangle and the return of not only Pac, which must have actually made his flight this time, but we get Phoenix coming back, which is, I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited that their feud is going to continue. I'm a little nervous because I don't want to see House of Black lose. And what 2 people returning, I think it'd be awesome. Maybe this speeds up the process of Julia Hart also, because with Death Triangle having Alex, House of Black may need somebody to kind of deal with him, and maybe, somebody on the outside to kind of mess things up like Alex does. Maybe that's how they bring in Julia, who we saw earlier in the night with the BCC segment. She was on the ring apron just sitting there, which must have been cool, because I know her and Lee Johnson.
Her eyes more painted now. I think they're kind of speeding things up probably now that Pac's back.
Yeah.
Her eyes.
The pedal to the metal, baby.
Yeah, so on painted. Dark, the last few weeks, she's had a couple matches on Dark and Elevation, and they debuted that the makeup's like coming down, and even commentaries mentioning it. So it looks like they're kind of ramping up that story. Maybe they're ramping it up because Double or Nothing's in a month. So that's what AEW does, man. They keep stuff like kind of in the background, stuff that you're noticing, and then when the pay-per-view hits, it all hits at once, because every single match on an AEW pay-per-view has storylines attached to it. Maybe the Julia Hart thing is being saved for that match. But Jacky, what'd you think of this whole segment?
So happy to see Phoenix back and healthy. The quote of the night probably came from my sister-in-law, Fran, when she's like, look at that. Phoenix has been back for all of 5 minutes and he's already giving you a heart attack because he's like freaking jumping off of shit and just being the maniac that he is. And, I'm happy to see him back healthy. I loved that swerve. I kind of caught that that's where they might have been going with it, but it still popped me nonetheless. You know that I'm all about the House of Black. I want them on the show more. I want them in matches more. So having their foes now fully in place, if that expedites that process and gets them back into full motion, then I'm all about it.
Kyle, what do you think?
So my thing is now, okay, a lot of trios things now. And it looks like everything's established now. We have a lot of established trios. Introduce the damn belts, because this is where they're going. If there's no reason to have all these trios if you're not going to introduce trios belts.
Fair.
Like Pac, if they're not going to have trios belts, Pac doesn't need to be with the Death Triangle. If you're not going to have trios belts, House of Black didn't really need 3 members. They could have been fine with just him and Brody King.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy
Their
could've
theme
just been on
song
his
for the
own.
Kings of the Black Throne is an absolute banger too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, like it has to be heading towards belts. I wonder if this is heading towards belts, like how they're going to introduce them. Are they going to wait till the New Japan pay-per-view? Are they going to wait till random episode of Dynamite? Like I don't know. Like I don't know what's holding them from doing trios belts, because I don't think it would oversaturate anything. There's just too many.
We're going to have these huge tag matches anyway, so they might as well go towards something.
Yeah, like there's too many trios teams to not have belts at this point.
We have Adam in the chat. Phoenix versus Matthews is going to move faster than my eyes can handle. 100%. That's the match I want immediately. Give me Buddy Matthews versus Ray Phoenix to open a Dynamite, give them 20 minutes, and let's show the world. Let's remind the world how good Buddy Matthews is, because we all know how good Ray Phoenix is. Good. But for anybody who didn't watch his matches on 205 Live, Buddy Matthews is incredible.
So good. He's so good.
So damn good.
And I can't wait for Buddy and Kenny Omega to finally face each other one day, and I will mark out completely like how Jacky was watching Dax and Cash. That'll be me watching those two.
Yeah.
But
I can't wait for that. So also the final match for us to talk about, we have Warlow versus Archer. This match was a lot better than any of us expected, right? I mean, I love Warlow, but who knew? It was great, right? We saw Warlow do a lot of more agile moves and instead of just power. We saw him do a swanton, which, yet again, if you consume more of the content other than what's on the show, Warlow has said in interviews that his two favorite wrestlers growing up were Batista and Jeff Hardy.
And he does the powerbomb and the swanton.
Exactly. And he said his two dream matches are 1-on-1 versus Batista, which is never going to happen because Batista's retired, and a tag team match with the Hardys, which could very much and possibly will happen because they're both huge baby faces in this company. So beautiful swanton. He gets the head scissors or the hurricanrana that everyone's talking about, how clean it was, how great it was. And then this leads to not only MJF and Shawn Spears in the crowd, but a promo segment afterwards where MJF hints and teases at the debut next week of W. Morrissey, a.k.a. Big Cass, which also teases along with the Deonna and Mercedes match that's taking place next week that we'll talk about in a bit. It teases Impact coming back in the fold and working with AEW. Kyle, what do you think about the Warlow match and this? What seems like Impact is back with AEW now?
Good match.
At least for the short term.
Poor Lance Archer, though.
Yeah, always loses.
But yeah, man, Warlow, that gif got shared a lot. Yeah, last night and today, of him doing that clean Hurricane that was sweet. This was a good match. I really like this match. I love the whole storyline with Warlow eventually going to be facing MJF. He goes back in the handcuffs, and MJF and Shawn Spears sitting in like the suites, and their reactions are great. Now he's mentioning Big Cass or William Morrissey, whatever he's going to be called. Now, like, do we think he's going to be bringing someone with him?
Enzo, I hope
possibly. Not. Yo, I know there's everyone's thoughts on Enzo, and he's a little bit of a problem. I just want to see Enzo and Eddie Kingston go at it in a ring with a mic.
Yeah, just yelling at each other. Enzo will get eaten alive, though. Like, Enzo's great on the mic, don't get me wrong, but Eddie is just on another level.
Eddie's like...
But if they brought back just them two for one night and had, like, Enzo, like, walk out with Morrissey and then him cutting, like, an old school, like... What was
Enzo and Cass promo.
Enzo and Cass promo. I would be fine with that.
W. Morrissey is gotten really good. As, you know, I got to see him wrestle twice over the weekend because I was at the Impact Rebellion pay-per-view and then the tapings on Sunday. He's gotten better. He is massive. Like, I get that, like, this world outside of WWE is a lot smaller than WWE because they sign a lot of big guys. But Cass is a monster compared to everybody else. He's so much bigger. It is so crazy. But Jacky, what do you think about the Warlow match and then the Impact stuff?
Warlow Archer match was pretty good because, you know, you see two guys their size and you assume it's going to be the classic big meaty men slapping meat kind of scenario where it's just going to be a bunch of guys picking things up and slamming things, you know. But there was a lot of There was a lot of agile moves going on. Even Archer, he walked the top rope like it was a tightrope. So it's just like different little aspects of their personalities and their capabilities. But we all knew Warlow was going over. Again, poor Archer. I don't know what they're doing with him. He's going to seem less and less menacing if every time that he goes out there in a situation like this, he's going to lose. But somebody's got to be the guy. Yep. And then we'll see where this continues. I mean, we all know that what we want the payoff to be, and that's for MJF to get his shit rocked, as I keep saying week after week. And, step by step, we're going to get there. And when it finally happens, it's going to be glorious. And I can't wait to see it.
Speaking of people who need to get their shit rocked, I want to kind of gloss over this real quick. We won't talk about the beating afterwards because, yet again, it is fucking stupid why they keep doing this. But the promo segment in ring was really good between Kingston, Santana Ortiz, and the JAS. So, Jacky, let's just talk about how great Eddie Kingston and Daniel Garcia were.
Yes. Kingston, we know for a fact when he gets on that microphone, he's going to rip people to shreds and destroy them. And he got so far up in Jericho's face that Jericho was doing the working or shooting, bending backwards. And you can tell that this is getting to a fever pitch. It's just at the point where, like, saying it really quickly, I can't stand the fact that they're, the JAS is constantly getting the upper hand. I know it's like heel versus babyface thing. It's going to happen. But, yeah. And also, what the hell was Hager wearing? I would just like to point that out because that was my first thought when I saw them freaking go out there. It looked like my man's was in the locker room and they were like, our segment's up. They moved it up. And he's like, I'm not finished getting dressed. Doesn't matter. Put some shoes on. Don't even put no socks on. Just freaking go out there looking like that. He looked ridiculous. And I guess that's kind of the point.
My biggest problem, my continued problem with all of this will remain, you're doing the same shit every week. It's exactly what they did with the Inner Circle towards the end. It's like, there's no problem doing the promo that leads to a beatdown segment, but you've done it 3 times already. Progress the story or put a women's match into place. For the love of God, I want to see a second women's match.
But you think that's done on purpose because they're representing a like the see, that's the only different
approach that I could see.
No, but they even before they were the JAS, Inner Circle was doing the same thing. It was how many times did the Inner Circle reunion?
No, like, I know that, but maybe now it just makes more sense because they make fun of being sports entertainers, and the whole fireball thing, and people were shitting on that. I'm like, guys, it's because it was sports entertainment.
I get it, and I understand the storyline they're telling, and hopefully it ends at Double or Nothing, or it ends in a blood and guts match or something. But, like, we need to progress. I need whoever's going to come out to help, Eddie and Santana Ortiz, whether it's Homicide or Hernandez, whether it's 2 other people. We need to get there because I'm tired of seeing them get beat up. It's frustrating as a fan. Like, Santana posted a tweet today and said 126 days. Is he counting down to the end of his contract? I hope not. I hope somebody could talk some sense into them, unless they're going to go to Impact or something. I don't want them to go to WWE because they're going to be, oh my God, they're going to fucking destroy them over there.
Just lost in the shuffle.
Right. They'll make them matadors like the last 2 Puerto Rican wrestlers they had.
Oof.
But it's just like,
they'll make them like 2 Razor Ramon looking guys.
Yeah, exactly. Even though they're not Cuban.
I don't think they're going to the Fed. I really don't think they're going to the Fed.
My thing is just, I really want to get this feud over with. I want FTR to win the belts. I want FTR to start their reign so we can start pushing towards FTR versus Santana Ortiz with them winning. But it's all on hold because we're doing this stupid Jericho stable shit, which, listen, Jericho's great. Jericho's awesome. Jericho's a legend. We get that. But like Ant was saying in the chat last night, I'm done. I'm done with him being in a stable. I need him to be by himself. If you want Hager to be with him, that's fine, right? As like his bodyguard or whatever. I have no problem with that. I think Hager does a good job of just standing there and being big, right? Whenever you ask him to do anything else, it looks horrible. But like, it really, the highlight of this is 2.0 and Daniel Garcia, that they're getting the spotlight, but at what cost, right? You're costing us these segments that it's just like, oh my God. It's just ridiculous.
You're not wrong.
But Kyle, any final thoughts before we move on?
I hate JS.
Yeah. So as we go to the end of the show, here is the preview for what's coming up on Rampage. We have Hook and Danhausen with a confrontation. It's not a match. We have to make sure we say that they're not going against each other. They're just standing face-to-face in confrontation. It'll be a fun segment in the ring, which would be a good time. We get Samoa Joe versus Trent. for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, I believe, right? TV Championship. He's a TV champion. Yeah. So we're getting that match. We got Colton Gunn versus Keith Lee, which should just be Keith Lee killing him, which would be great. We get a trios match with the women. We get Jade, Kiera, and Velvet Sky. Jade with the baddies, which would be fun, versus Willow Nightingale, Trish Adora, and Sky Blue. I don't know what graphic they used for Sky Blue, but it was an old one because it was nothing like her. She wasn't in blue. She was in like red gear. But getting to see Willow Nightingale is great. And I hope that this means that Tony is really pushing to sign her to the company, because I would love to see that. And the one match that came out of nowhere that got announced as another qualifying match for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament is Swerve Strickland versus Darby Allin. This match is going to steal the show. Like, this match might steal the week. Like, this match is going to be crazy. And I didn't even know in the promo that they cut on Dynamite, Swerve and Darby had this whole history together in the Indies, probably in Evolve, I would assume, right? But I just can't wait for this. I'm excited. Jackie, are you excited?
Yeah.
I just had a thought.
I was just thought? Like,
I'll wait for Jackie.
No, I was just gonna say, like, Rampage is like, it's got to hit a little bit better for me, but
it's been great the last couple weeks. What are you talking about?
Jackie, what's this?
What are you talking about?
It's gonna be a great Rampage, which I unfortunately, guys, we do have to announce that there won't be any Good Morning Elite this week. We're all tied up, so no Good Morning Elite. But anyways, Jackie, come on.
It's been great the last 3-4 weeks.
It's been getting better. Yes, it's been
that COVID got you all messed up.
Yeah.
It changed. There's not enough technical wrestling on this show, Jackie.
Oh my God. I guess not. Let me. I'll just shut my mouth now before I get yelled at.
I do got a thought though. We're going. I'm kind of backtracking here. I want to see the Blackpool Combat Club hold all 3 Ring of Honor belts: the World, the TV, and the Pure.
I'd love that. That'd be great. And they kind of take over that company.
I think
that'd be awesome.
I think Joe needs to be beaten by Danielson, and Moxley needs to beat Gresham for the title.
Oh, that's
a hell of a power trio right there.
I'd love to see that.
And then
that'd be great.
Yuda's the Pure. So, anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So also a preview for Dynamite next week. We have Wardlow versus probably William Morrissey, aka Big Cass. Bobby Fish versus Jeff Hardy. And I'm going to be honest, in a tournament match, I don't want to see. I don't care about either guy. I don't care about either guy winning. I'm not a Jeff Hardy fan. Never have been. Sorry. I mean, and if Jeff Hardy's going to wrestle, at least have him with the Hardy Boys, so it'll be fun. But the one match that I'm looking forward to more than everything, and I'm so happy that Ant's going to be on the show next week to talk about this. Deonna Purrazzo finally makes her AEW Dynamite debut and wrestles pop. Mercedes Martinez for the Undisputed, the unified Ring of Honor Women's Champion, because of course Deonna is the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, but because of a scheduling conflict with the Super Show being in the same night, the same time, exact time as Multiverse of Matches for Impact, it's great. Does this mean Deonna loses because she's with Impact and they need to get that title on a wrestler who's contracted to AEW / Ring of Honor? Possibly, but just because the fact that she's even appearing on AEW television, does this mean that there's a new deal with them working together? As Kyle said over the last few days, Impact was like, oh, they're working with New Japan. We want to be there.
Guys, yeah. I'm in. Let's fucking go.
I'm in. You're right. Never mind, man.
I'm in. Go.
Yeah.
Is it too late? Is it too late to book for indoor? Can we come in?
No. What's the Morty gif? You son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
I'm in.
But yeah.
But it's going to be great, man. That match is going to be exceptional. For people who haven't seen Deonna wrestle since she's left WWE, she's been incredible, right? She's been the best part of Impact for a year and a half now.
Deonna's going to get a massive reaction next week. Mm-hmm. And if she loses, Mercedes is going to get some big heel heat. Just saying.
So, Adam, I don't think that Deonna is going to lose to Britt, the title to Britt, because this is the only reason Deonna and Britt haven't fought since then, right? Yeah. I think that Deonna is Impact's biggest star and their most valuable asset or the most valued asset, and they don't want her to lose. And Britt Baker is a huge deal and a valued asset to Tony Khan and AEW. So neither side wants to lose. That's why when they were both champions, they never fought. And also, Carrie's texting me and reminding me this weekend at the AAA show, which is why I think that they brought Phoenix back now, because Phoenix is on that AAA card in Mexico. We get Diana and Andrade in a tag team match.
Oh.
Versus Taya, and I forgot who the other person was.
Ooh.
A Mexican
That's
wrestler.
nice.
I forgot. So listen, there's great wrestling happening all over the world. So make sure you expand your mind and you watch as much great wrestling as possible, because it is out there. Yes, even Impact Wrestling. I know it is something that we've been accustomed to being like, TNA is worse. But Impact is really good. They have really great matches. As someone who was at the pay-per-view and someone who saw the tapings for the next 2 weeks, they do some great stuff over there, and it is a good time. And they have a lot of great wrestlers over there at Impact, women's and men's. So definitely make sure you check that out. But thank you guys for listening to another episode of Elite POV. If you guys want to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, it's at Elite POV. On TikTok, Elite POV Clips. You can follow me at Philium Elite. Jackie, let them know where they can follow you.
You can on Twitter at LoveYouMake24 and on Instagram at JacksTheDrawPOV.
Kyle, let them know about the eFed and where they can follow you.
You did that just on purpose, Jack, so you can do that every single time we sign off, didn't you? You purposely went POV at the end of your Instagram so you can go POV.
Wow, I sound like that, bro? Like, damn.
Pretty close. I was getting there, you know.
We'll talk about it after the show.
Okay. See, even Ant agrees with me. But anyways, yeah, guys. If you guys don't know, me and Ant talk about it at the end of each show every single damn week. We do an eFed. If you guys don't know what an eFed is, it is a simulated wrestling game. We use WWE 2K22 in this sense, but we simulate a wrestling game. But there's... But we have our own company. We have our own brands. We create storylines. People create promos, and it's their created characters that we make. So it's like your created character come to life. It's so much fun. If you guys are ever interested in just catching a stream, you don't have to necessarily interact, but just watch and see what it's all about. And if you're interested in it, hit us up. It is twitch.tv/Alliance Wrestling Fed, FED. And then just watch us. We're live every Sunday and Monday nights. And Wednesday nights now, because now we have a Wednesday night show, which is either me or Ant that controls that one with 3 matches. And then our pay-per-views are Saturdays when they do happen. But it's so much fun, guys. There are a lot of people in this community that are part of it. A lot of people from other communities that are part of it. But it's me and Ant's like, these two are part of it here. It's the greatest thing of the week that I look forward to each and every single week besides this podcast. And yeah, make sure you guys follow us in there. You can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/AWF_EFed. But stick around, guys. Don't go anywhere. In just a bit, you're going to finally see the reaction video.
Me be a big old dork.
By Jacky.
Yes, and make sure you tweet this out. Tweet everybody, right, who maybe they left early, right, because it's a long show. We understand. Tweet them to come back. We want to get the views on this, because only place you guys are going to see it, because it keeps getting blocked when we try to upload it. Yeah. So thank you guys for listening to Elite.
Wait. Where is it getting blocked, Phil?
On YouTube.
Know, but where were we trying to post it?
On patreon.com/ElitePOV. Also, ElitePOVmerch.com. As we said in the beginning of the show, we have great designs.
Say it both times. Go buy our shit now.
Yeah. Support us. We appreciate any support you guys want to give us. We appreciate it all. You see the great tiers up. See the great shirts up. A lot of great logos with more to come. So with that, stick around for the Jackies if you're live in the Twitch chat. And thank you for listening to another great episode of Elite POV. We miss you, Ant. See you next week. I won't be on next week's show. I'll be on my honeymoon. So I'll see you Marks in 2 weeks. But thank you for listening. And remember, you don't need a hat to be a cowboy.
On to Jackie's reaction.